Welcome to episode 50 of the Wheeler's Dog Podcast.
50. Congratulations, Eugene.
Hey, and welcome to this special edition of the Wheeler's Dog Podcast. Usually this is a Patreon-only episode, but it is a milestone episode. What is this, Chigs? It's the, I guess you could call it like a golden anniversary. Isn't that what the 50th is? Or no, that's a silver, isn't it? A silver. People can't hear you nodding.
Oh, sorry. Yes. You're correct. You're correct, dear.
And Chigs is sitting in with me on this after she's just raked me over the coals for the condition of this game room table. Go ahead, explain it to the folks. I know you're dying to.
No, it's okay. It's horrible, people. It's awful. This place looks like something from an episode of Sanford and Son. You remember it, right? Yeah, just a bunch of junk sitting around. So we're getting ready to record the podcast, and I have my fancy water that I'm going to drink. Try to keep my voice moistened, lubricated, and I'm trying to find somewhere to put it. So there's a Lowe's Foods mailer.
It's a coupon. Say $5 off, $10, $15 off. You don't want to mess that up with water.
But I put my drink on the other side of it.
No, you didn't. Right there.
Well, regardless, there was nowhere else to put it. And because there's... Okay. All right. Inventory. There are exactly 5 pins in earshot. Eugene's bag of silicone wedding bands. His face mask. 2 notebooks. Something in a white box.
That's my fitness band.
Okay. Something in a red container.
That's the external hard drive.
A little thing of hand sanitizer. A wrench. Another face mask. Some coasters. A baggie with, I think, Hero Clicks possibly in it.
No, it's dice.
The bell is mine.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hello. Some Post-it notes. Some... other kind of Hero Clicks thing, a glass.
Yeah, that's Lobo, the main man.
A pint glass, another Sharpie, a small cooler, an article of mail that's going out to somebody extremely special. That would be you, Melissa. You know who you are, because you'll get it soon. Some Staples stuff, a box of tennis shoes, and a
Well,
bag.
It's not a box of tennis shoes. It's just a pair of shoes.
Yes. A pair of shoes in the box. A bag that has something in it. I'm not sure exactly what that is. And I guess, another notebook. Yeah, the mouse and all the computer stuff.
That's your dildo, dear.
No.
That's what's in that bag.
So out of all of these items, I'm not exactly sure why you have the wrench.
Remember when I fixed the light above us?
Oh, yeah.
I needed to screw that thing back together.
Yeah. So this is a man that will ask me, "Where's my wrench at? Where's the hammer at?
I know exactly
where's
where
the
that wrench
toolbox
is at."
Yeah, he never puts things back, but he wants to blame me for them being displaced.
Oh, you're saying I don't put anything back?
We're talking about you right now, not me.
I know where that wrench is.
Okay. All right.
Ask me where that wrench is.
Sounds like my dad. He's the same way. Don't mess with his table.
It's a foot away.
I know, but really, it's going to get buried. You'll never find it.
I know. I need to get to this, but, I was talking about on the last podcast about my problems. The knee and the Achilles tendon. Mm-hmm. You don't really feel like walking around doing a whole lot once you get back from work.
It's not hard to straighten up a table. It does not take that much.
Things that got to go places.
Maybe you could use the cooking stool to kind of like
and places
spin around in here to like pick things up and slide over here and put them away. It works because I rolled Matthew in the cooking stool down all the way through the dining room and into the kitchen.
Why?
The he just wanted me to.
Oh, you crazy kids!
It's weird.
I wasn't here for that.
Oh, I can see the cow from here. I just realized it.
They have no idea what we're talking about.
We have a cow in the yard. It's a really long story, but we found it in the woods.
It's like a cement cow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, something you get from one of those roadside stands.
Yeah, except it's really ugly. I don't know who ever wanted it. But it's
Well,
ours.
that's why it was out in the woods.
I know, but I just couldn't leave it.
But anyway, thanks again for tuning in for the 50th podcast from
Wow.
Wheeler's Dog. You know, it's been fun. It's been a whole lot easier than I thought it would be. The first one, I don't know if you heard the first couple of ones, but I was rather nervous for some of that, and I'm hearing that noise.
You leaned on. You told me not to touch the table.
I know,
but
and
then
see,
you
that's
leaned
what
on
happens. See,
So
that's
I
what
feel
happens.
like that you need a timeout for that.
Okay,
Okay, that's one demerit for you.
I thought it was a timeout.
Well, both. How's that?
But anyway, Chiggs, how do you feel about me talking about everyday things on this podcast? For, you know, it's basically life's aggravations that affect me and you, and it's just I'm talking them out. Mm-hmm. It's for the benefit of other people to be, you know, to enjoy my pain, our pain.
How do I feel about it? Well, that's a complex question because on one hand, better you vent into the podcast than me having to hear it, constantly until you get it out of your system. Two, you're right on target with the things that you're saying because this is our life. But three, it's a little, at first I was a little apprehensive and just because, it's like putting your business out on Front Street.
I don't put everything out there.
Well, I know. Well, on the Patreon, yeah. Now, if you're a Patreon listener, you get a little more info than the normal listener, which is fine. And but no, it's cool, and I think it's. I hope that it's entertaining for folks. I've always found you to be extremely funny in an old curmudgeon-y kind of way. Of course,
Well, that is true.
Partial to you.
I should find my my personality test that we did for when I was at Rock 92 and we were spinning off the Weather Dave Will Bastard show, and we all had to do this. And what these tests are, Jeff McHugh, who's now, I think he lives in Portland, and he's like this high-priced radio consultant, but he used to be the program director at 107.5 KZL. And when you sat in for an air check session with him, you take in your what you do on the air, and he goes through it. And he actually wrote a nice thing about me in one of the trade magazines, because I was a college radio defector. But we had to take these personality tests, and I remember when we did it for Murphy in the Morning, and Josh was in tears coming out of there, just in tears. Because the personality test, not only does it pick apart your bad things that people can make fun of, but it also picks apart your good qualities that people can make fun of.
Oh, wow.
And
that's rough.
Believe me, it is.
I don't think I want to do one of those. I don't know if my self-esteem could handle it.
And I will say this. I don't know if you remember this, Chiggs, but I told you that when Matt Clark has been on this podcast before. Episode 10? The Not Safe for Work?
Yes.
He and Kristen Dokas?
Right at the beginning of the COVID-19.
Mm-hmm. Because we were unsure about having them over.
Yeah. It was our social distance podcast.
Mm-hmm. Got rained out. But anyway, Matt and I did a show on the air. More with Matt Clark. I was the producer, phone screener, second banana, so to speak. And I told you that I would talk about our life, especially the stuff that's funny. Mm-hmm. Because it's relatable. People want to hear that sort of thing. So
I think you put that in the prenup, didn't you?
That and all my CDs are mine. So, yeah, everything else is yours. But CDs.
Listen, I got to haul this junk out of here and put it somewhere, so.
First thing I need to start, speaking of cleaning up here in the game room, look at my shelf over there. Good
I prefer
Lord.
not to. It depresses me. It's a mess. You are a hoarder. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't have clutter, because I do, and these men have broken me down. I mean, down. If it was not for the mill, which is my mom, of course, I don't think that this place would be condemned, probably, because she keeps the laundry up. She does all the vacuuming.
Speaking of laundry.
But I can't. I used to work myself to death trying to keep things clean and tidy and straightened up, and they just broke me. They broke me.
And you see these shorts I'm wearing?
Yes.
I put them into the dirty clothes yesterday, and look, they're back.
You got
fresh
1
and
day
clean.
service around
1 day
here.
service.
1 day.
I know that she can bug the crap out of us at times. I think, what was it? The other day you were coming in, I was in here in the game room, and you were like, she is killing me. She is killing me.
That's like, what, at least, I don't know.
She was, and no, you
Every
said,
other day.
you said she was getting on your nerves, and I
Yeah,
said,
she
what
was.
is she doing? She's like, she's just getting on my nerves.
Yeah. I don't even remember. I think it was, sometimes she'll, like I'm talking like she's in the other room, afraid she's going to hear me and I'm going to get in trouble. She will constantly ask me, like, question everything I'm doing. And that can be very irritating.
She's the Inquisitor.
She is the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor.
I gotta move this. That's what's rocking.
Oh. He removed the bell from the table and placed it on the floor. That's a perfect spot for it.
And the funniest, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And so, yeah, so she, but I can't remember exactly what she was doing that day. I think she was questioning, like, I was going upstairs, but I decided to come downstairs. She's like, I thought you were going upstairs. You know, that kind of thing. It was just.
But what killed me the other day was we were having trouble getting started to go over to Bait and Bobby's house.
Oh, yeah.
And she locked eyes with you, looked at you, and asked,
Y'all hadn't left yet?
what gave it away?
Yeah, we have. We're already there. Oh, there's CJ.
Yeah.
I made CJ bark. I'm so sorry, babe. Shh.
So,
Okay.
I don't know if they
I
can
don't
hear
know,
that.
but if you could. She tells the dog to hush. Hush!
Oh, she talks to the dog like it's going to answer her. That's what's so funny.
Yeah.
And you told me that she didn't like dogs.
Dogs have always liked her, but she never has been a dog person. I could not have animals in the house when I was growing up, which I would sneak the cats in.
Yeah, you were a cat hoarder.
I was any kind of stray that would come around. I would entice it with food, and I would buy the cat food.
Didn't kill it.
No, I never killed anything. but man, she has, since she moved in with us and has really got to experience life with dogs. She's very bonded with them both, but especially CJ.
Yeah.
There's a bond there, and CJ watches after Mom and really does pay attention to her mood, what she's doing. CJ's just a doll. She's an awesome dog. I'm so glad we got her. Yeah, I am. But I do want to, if I can, Eugene, I hate to take up so much time
Knock
talking.
yourself out.
But I do want to, I have lots of points that I'd like to clarify throughout the past 49
All right.
podcasts.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to let CJ up. Here comes CJ now. Yes, come on in. She wants to know we're talking about her.
You
Okay,
think,
go ahead.
'cause she slammed the
What
door.
are your points?
So anyway, I can't. I wanted to compile a list of things because you're always saying something wrong. Either it's wrong or I need to defend a point. But I cannot remember them all right now. But I do remember the latest one that I heard. And a tomato pie is not a dessert.
Then why is it a pie?
Well, I mean, I guess considering a tomato is technically considered a fruit, that it could be considered a dessert, but it's not really sweet like you would expect a dessert to be. It's got cheese in it.
You need a little Cool Whip.
No, that would not go with it. So it's
What's in it? Cheese, tomatoes.
fresh basil, and mayonnaise.
Well, that doesn't sound good at all.
It is good. I mean, there are other things you can put. I saw somebody today did one with bacon in it, too, with the tomatoes. So that sounds good. I may try that with all those pie shells I got you to pick me up. But, yeah, so there's always something that I'd like to, just kind of give a counterpoint on.
Well, I don't know.
And
I don't know.
I can't remember now because my mind's went completely blank, except for the tomato pie is not technically a dessert.
And you did say that I was stupid because I can't understand blood pressure.
Well, okay. The whole, okay. Give me let me see if I can imitate you.
A 10 scale.
Give me a scale from 1 to 5. 1 being
Dead.
you're dead. 2 being you better go to the ER and blah, blah, blah. You did say 10. 10 being you're awesome. Well, it's not that difficult. Okay, you have a top number and you have a bottom number.
Yes, I've heard this many times.
Every time you try to explain this to him, he gets this glazed over look in his eyes and he stops listening. I don't know what it is.
It's like people talking about college basketball. It just does not interest me.
If he has somehow blocked this and he's never going to understand it, and that's just the way it is. And these are the kind of things, as Eugene's wife, I just have to come to accept. And I'm,
my boneheaded ways.
It's a work in progress. But I'm glad your blood pressure was good. I'm glad that
She said it was great.
Your liver. I'm glad I don't have to quit drinking.
Oh yeah, update. Yeah, I got my test results. My enzymes apparently have gone back to normal. I laid off the hard distilled spirits and just stuck with beer most of the time. I had a shot here and there, but nothing crazy. Not like Bate and Jim. They're drinking exploits. I mean, they're just they're like Keith or Sutherland. They're just getting bed crapping drunk every time you turn around. I don't know how they do it. They're in their 70s and they can drink me under the table, and they're
retired,
happy,
and trying to
happy and fine.
Enjoy their retirement in a higher plane.
Yeah, so my numbers are good. It turned out, that was the other thing. She was worried that maybe I had hepatitis, and so I was kind of pulling for hepatitis because she told me it was treatable, and then I could still drink. But I've decided that I'm just going to lay off the distilled spirits. Not quit them altogether, just very moderate. Mm-hmm. Or light. I will go lightly. So that's the way I'm going to go, and I'm not going to drink too much beer. I really don't drink that much beer, honestly.
No, we've both cut back a lot on our drinking, trying to lose weight and take better care of ourselves.
It's hard with these people, though.
And it's between that and just Mom. She drives me to drink sometimes. So recently in the past week, I know you've probably talked about, and I'm almost positive you have, scaring her easily.
Easily frightened. It's my ringtone.
One of these days, I'm going to give her a heart attack. I know it. So I come up. I'm the steps. So my office is downstairs now, and the steps no longer have carpeting or anything on them, so they're wooden. So when you come up those steps, and I'm not light-footed, it sounds like a herd of cattle.
You could weigh 98 pounds and still make noise coming up those stairs.
Yeah. So I'm clomping up the steps, and I get to the top, and Mom's in there, and she's doing something, and she just looks at me and just screams at the top of her lungs. The same day, I came upstairs into the kitchen. She had to have seen me or heard me again, and I go in there and I'm just talking to her and got her again. That time she held her heart, and I'm like, oh Lord. She was like, the character.
Yeah, Fred Sanford.
Coming to meet you.
That's
Speaking of Fred, I know. See,
references.
That's a sign. I've got to start cleaning this place up, or somebody's going to have a heart attack. But anyway, so yeah, I don't want to scare her, but she gets scared very easily. I get her in the laundry room sometimes, although she knows that my office is right across the way. Just right across. Still, I scare her.
I think she gets into her own little world. Like her own little mindset. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that she's paying any attention
to agree.
anything other than what she's doing. Plus, I have a feeling that her hearing is going away. Because she can't hear shit unless, we got to bleep that out. It's 2018.
Well, she says she can hear fine, and she can probably hear us right now.
Oh, yeah. But the funny thing is, you're across the room or even across the table, she can't hear you.
Yeah, it's actually amazing, like, what she can hear opposed to what she can't hear. There's some selective hearing there.
Sometimes I don't even answer her, and then she lets me know she heard it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she'll answer the question or
like
say
it's a
something
habit.
about it.
I used to do that. I'd say, huh, when I really did hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so it's an interesting, I guess it's an interesting life we lead. We find it pretty interesting, and we have
colorful characters that live around us.
Yeah, we have to make it fun, because if we don't, then, we might go crazy. Mm-hmm. Be on the news somewhere,
Put on some vinyl, pour a glass of bourbon, nestle into that plush, deep pile carpet, and wait, get that crap out of here. We like to rock. Talking about music in a unique way. Listen to Beeswax Vinyl and more anywhere you find podcasts and at tldpodnetwork.com. We're more than just vinyl.
You want extra episodes of the Wheeler's Dog Podcast? Of course you do. No one in their right mind would pass up an opportunity to get a bonus episode every week. Not every once in a while, but one every week. Just go to patreon.com/WheelersDog and get into the dog share for just $4. $4 every month unlocks all the audio. You can even listen with the Patreon app for tablets and smartphones. Patreon.com/WheelersDog to contribute. It's the best gift that you could ever give yourself, really. Maybe.
And Chigs is trying to remember something else that she didn't agree with. Come on, what is it?
I'm trying to remember. I wanted to have some talking points, but as you know, our internet was down for a big majority of the day again today.
It didn't involve a plumber.
I handled it extremely well, like a full-fledged adult, too. No temper tantrums, no, just getting so upset because there's nothing I can do about it. And
you didn't crap on the floor and rub it on the wall.
Let my supervisor know that I was going to be offline. Our whole neighborhood was down again. And then I sat in the living room for a little while and counted the fish on the Roku with Mom. We have determined that there are at least 12 different fish that fly around in that pretend fish tank.
They swim around.
Swim around, sorry.
They don't fly, but I say that all the time on the podcast. I listen to it back, and it's like, I use the wrong word or something, and it's like, gosh, I sound like an idiot sometimes.
Well, they were swimming pretty fast, so you could say they were flying.
Well, they're computer generated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And what cracks me up is Mom always like, hey, there's one in that cave, too.
That's an
eel.
in
that cave.
Technically not a fish.
Technically not. So we did that, and of course Lucy was hysterical because just the faintest indication that there's some kind of weather disturbance, and she is on guard. So she came downstairs with me for a while, because for the longest time I just sat down there at my desk hoping magically things would come back on because I was working. And so Lucy came and hung out with me for a while, and we just kind of waited it out. And then after it didn't come on in about, 30 minutes, I'm calling Spectrum. The first time, I got a message that they are too busy to take any phone calls and call back later. I'm like, oh, this is serious. So then I waited a little bit, and I called back again, and they gave me estimated time. And
well, if you got anything that I drove through, I got a late call into work today, and I just decided, what the heck? I know they're backed up with stuff. I need to get out there. And plus, it's good to make money. So I drove through it. It hit me about West Center Street Extension, and it was just a monsoon. I mean, it was crazy.
Mostly just rain, though. Not a whole lot of wind, or both?
There was both. And then I was like, I'm driving through downtown, uptown Lexington, and I'm feeling around the back of my truck for an umbrella. Thankfully, I had one, the Better Umbrella.
Oh, you had the Better umbrella?
I love that thing.
I do too. I think that's mine.
It may be. I don't know what happened to mine.
Did you have one too?
I did not have a Better umbrella.
Oh.
I had a big, giant
What color?
Golf. It was green and white.
I think Sam may have taken that
I know he did.
to camp.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Well, I mean,
He just sort of took it because it's nice and big.
yeah. Well, he's probably
But
needed it. Though,
I took the Better umbrella with me, and I needed it because when I got to the dealer to pick up that truck, by the way, the truck, oh man, let me tell you, the truck was damaged. And I got pictures of it right here. I will show Chigs. I mean, the whole attic was just,
Oh, wow.
yeah, just pushed all the
Who
way
did
back.
that? Somebody
I don't
ran
know
under
who did
something
it.
that was way too
And that's what
low.
it looks like from the
Too
driver's
low.
side.
Nice.
But I had to drive this thing all the way to Wake Forest to Raleigh. And I don't know if you can...
It looks like something might fly off of it. That could have been
Well,
a
that's
hacker.
why I didn't go more than 65 miles per hour. But the other thing is, all that, the hole in the truck, it acted like a parachute.
Oh, so it was, yeah.
So the gas mileage, which is normally takes me a quarter of a tank in that size truck, I think it's a TT, I had to fill up by the time I got to Burlington. Not
Wow.
all the way, but I went ahead and got half a tank of gas. It was crazy.
For real.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when I pulled up, people were walking out of the shop to look at it.
I bet they were, because that's quite the sight. Yeah, that's interesting. You had a very interesting and active day out there in the world. And, you know, I feel like I'm, like, living in a different
You're not missing a thing.
reality.
I know,
because
'cause
I'm at home so
you
much.
work
and
from
have
home all the
been
time.
so much, which is great, and I love it. But I miss out on some things like traffic jams and
You're not missing anything.
yeah, I'm not.
Let me tell you.
But it is kind of weird when I do go out that it's just strange because I maybe like see how much progress they've made on the new library in Clemens, which is not a whole lot, but they're getting there. But from the time I went last time,
Last time I think
and
it was
comparing
just
it to the time before,
smooth dirt.
yeah, there was a lot. I'm like, man, things are changing. It's like you talking about going to Greensboro after many years and going through some areas you haven't been through
Every
in a
time
while.
I go to Greensboro, it's completely different, even where my parents live.
Yeah,
I'll drive by, just happen to be close by, and I just drop in and say hey to Mom, and where the hell did that come from?
things change.
Yeah.
They change.
Well, Chigs, it looks like we're about out of time here for this 50th
Really?
50th
I feel like we
episode
haven't really talked about much of
of
anything.
the Wheeler's Dog. That's what the show is kind of about. It's,
So you
it's
got
kind of a Seinfeld-esque
50,
50 podcasts.
yeah, and during this 50th podcast, we probably said 50 things that you really don't give two about. Can I say that?
Well, you just did, but I'll mark it here as 2804. I can bleep that. Not a big deal.
I don't understand why you can't say, well, okay.
I don't want to. I want people to be able to
okay.
listen to it in their cars.
Okay, gotcha. And
if they
I
have
agree.
children.
You're right. We need the children to listen.
Well, not that we need them to listen. If you want to put them to sleep, let them listen to this.
Yeah. For real.
But I try to keep it clean,
I gotcha. And I agree with that.
And I try to keep it
appreciate
evergreen.
that. Yes.
And speaking of appreciate, I appreciate Tim Beeman, associate producer. This is an extra one for him to do this week. So I forgot to tell him, and he said...
Surprised him.
He said 50 will be Patreon only. Well, it's not Patreon only. He didn't know. I forgot to tell him. And then I asked him, I was like, hey, man, is it cool to sneak in another one? Sure! So he's cool with it. Now, episode 51 will be back to Patreon only, and all the odd ones will be Patreon only from this point on.
And the Patreon only ones are odd. It's when we divulge the dirt.
Yeah. Sometimes we let it fly.
Oh.
I even said curse words on the last one.
No.
Yes, I did. You know what Kix, the rock
Maybe
band,
I can get on
is
that
referred
one so
to
I can
as,
say
right?
what I wanted to say a while ago.
Kix, do you know what they're referred to? The
They're not
GD Kix band.
Really? I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Jeez. How long have we been together? Get out of
long.
here. Go.
Kicks are for kids.
Don't ever take them a box of cereal.
Really?
Oh,
They hate it.
Oh, yeah. They will hassle you about that stuff. I've seen them call
Wonder
somebody
what-
out.
I guess they came before the cereal, right?
No, the cereal's been around since...
Then they should have
the
known.
60s.
I mean, you've got to be prepared for something like that when you have a name. When you have to, just put your big girdle on and
a big girdle.
and just own it and
it.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Because hey, it's Kix. Love Kix.
Yeah.
But it is also a cereal.
That's the thing. Everybody
So
you
get
turn
over
on
it.
Everybody you turn on the Kicks ends up loving them. I don't know why they didn't get huge.
I don't know either.
They were so great.
I think the timing was wrong.
Well, they still are great.
Yeah.
Although nobody knows where Donnie is.
I like the little hand claps that they have in their songs.
Anyway, the Wheels Dog Speak line. Feel free to call, leave a message, send a text message even. 336-422-6006. I almost screwed up the number. 336-422-6006. And you can be a part of the podcast. And don't forget, $4 a month gets you 4 bonus episodes a month. Not one a month, not one every 6 months. No, by supporting my efforts, I give you a bonus episode every month. And so, at Chigs, we're going to wrap things up. We're going to get out of here. And
Let's wrap it.
thanks for being a part of the show, and thanks for letting me do this sort of thing. To kind of get my creative stuff out there. You know what I mean?
First, I'm sorry we need to go, but I do have to make this point. You don't have to thank me for letting you do something, number one. I don't thank you
I've got your support.
for letting me
I've got your support,
things.
and I'm thanking you for your support.
You do have my support, and I really appreciate you having me on this 50th podcast. It's been quite the honor. I love spending time with you, and I love creating things for the masses with you, and I love to entertain people. So I hope that folks are at least a little bit entertained by our ramblings.
Yes, and thanks for Chigs. Thanks, Chigs, for being part of the show. And we are out of here. Again, 51. Patreon only. Get on board. Patreon.com/WheelersDog.
I dare you. We probably said 50 things that you really don't give two about. Can I say that?
Well, you just did, but I'll mark it here as